मुझे एक दिन कॉल आया कुछ 1.5 साल पहले, like it was Bilal Maqsood from Strings. I was like, yo, why are you calling me? And he was like, yeah, we want Tuck on Velo.
आज हम गुफ्तगू कर रहे हैं म्यूजिशियन और म्यूजिक वीडियो डायरेक्टर ज़ैन पीरज़ादा से, जिन्होंने प्रॉबली आपकी काफ़ी फेवरेट म्यूजिक वीडियोस को डायरेक्ट किया हुआ है।
With मानू मेरी वो रिलेशनशिप बहुत like कैजुअल एंड मैं सुबह 6-7 बजे जब उठता हूँ उसका कुछ 4 बजे का कोई मैसेज होगा कि बॉय ये मैंने अभी बनाया है, लाइक क्या सीन है।
इस पॉडकास्ट में हम बात करेंगे अबाउट व्हाट इट टेक्स टू वर्क इन द म्यूजिक इंडस्ट्री इन पाकिस्तान।
Even if you don't hit it big time like Hassan Rahim or Young Stunners or whatever, you can still make it work and sustain it somehow.
So welcome to a candid episode of Out of the Box.
Sorry, I keep saying shit.
It's okay. I've said worse.
ठीक है।
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Out of the Box. और आज हमारे co-host हमारे साथ सजावल हैं और आज हमारे एक special guest हमारे साथ हैं ज़ैन पीरज़ादा, who wears many hats. He is a musician, he is a video music क्रिएटर, डायरेक्टर, फिल्म मेकर और मैं इनको ए लेवल से भी जानती हूँ, तो ये हमारे बचपन
ही हो गया।
आपके लिहाज से बचपन हो गया।
हम अब बड़े हो गए हैं, हम काफी बड़े हो गए हैं, बुड्ढे हो गए हैं। बट सिंस लेकिन इनका एक्चुअली प्रॉपर जो फैन है ना यहाँ पर वो सजावल वसीम है, तो इसलिए सजावल मैं कहूँगी कि आप ज़रा तारुफ करवाएं हमारे गेस्ट के।
नहीं ज़ैन, यू हैव डन अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स। आप क्या कहते हैं, सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ इसको कैटेगराइज करते हैं। सो आप मुझे प्लीज, यू करेंटली आर गिटारिस्ट फॉर कराकुरम एंड टक। आप उमेर जसवाल के लिए भी गिटारिस्ट थे। आप so through Flux Media, which is an audio video content creation production house, जो आप अपने पार्टनर लू कज़राए के साथ करते हैं, is also your band member in Tuck and an old friend. And through Flux Media आपने लोगों को पागल किया हुआ है, because आप almost had at least all the independent music videos, especially मानू की अगर हो तो वो Flux Media करता है। So in Flux Media I believe आपने मानू, हसन रहीम, तलाल कुरैशी, टावर्स, इन सब के
हसन को नहीं मैंने अभी तक शूट किया।
हसन आप अगर आप देख रहे हैं, आप क्या कर रहे हैं?
Tell me bro.
एंड उसके अलावा वन ऑफ द टॉप म्यूजिक वीडियो जो मेरे लिहाज से आई थिंक किधर आपने किया था, उसकी म्यूजिक वीडियो आपने की थी क्लोज टू यू, हीको की। आई नो ये तीनों मानू की है। मेरा बायस है बिकॉज आई एम अ ह्यूज मानू फैन। आपने अभी तक मुझे उससे मिलवाया नहीं, आपका वो बचपन का दोस्त है। बट अगर मानू ये देख रहे हैं तो प्लीज आप,
come on bro, आजा यार।
आई एम अ ह्यूज फैन। वैसे यू इन पर्टिकुलर आर अ वेरी interesting case study, because not only you are a musician, you produce music, but you're on the other side as well. You help other artists by making their music videos. Obviously it's a career path. You, to be honest, COVID mein I discovered these artists, Hassan Rahim, Maanu and all these people, and I was like, yaar ye Pakistan hai, this is so different than what we see. And they were just this, my chest became, kya hota hai wo, kya kehte hain, heavy, because I was just like, yeah, nice. Finally there's always been an issue with the content jo Pakistan mein create hota hai, that it is for a different generation. Pakistan has 64% population जो youth है, हम लोग हैं, and
it's not really reflected in the culture.
Representation नहीं है, बहुत चीज़ों में नहीं है, but when you see this I'm like, dude, I don't know what, but I can relate to this. And then there are people like you who are putting out the content which we can relate to. So it's always very interesting to see how that happened, because I know you guys are working with low budgets, you guys are often working with a lot of restrictions, but you guys are everywhere.
क्या है आपका राज?
Are you guys secretly millionaires or something, और हमें नहीं बता रहे?
We are not. I wish we were. I am working on that. Flux Media sort of started out of we as Tuck and like Karakoram and all the bands that I've been in, or my friends' bands or whatever, we've always paid out of our noses for like music videos basically. And I was just like, I had graduated with a film degree. I had worked for 2 years with Jamal Rahman at True Brew TV, and वो भी job मुझे उसी तरह मिली थी. I graduated, I was looking for a job. I knew he was looking for like a video guy for his studio for content, and he's a friend of mine. He interviewed me and he's like, premiere आता है? I was like, हाँ, नहीं आता था। कैमरा चला लेगा? हाँ। ये कर लेगा? हाँ। ये एपिसोड्स बनाने कर लूँगा। And I basically sort of learnt on the job. So I had that 2 years of experience, but I didn't really, I was still 110% pursuing like making it as only a musician, right? So I was doing the session gigs at concerts, in the studio, getting my own shit together or whatever. And then COVID hit. COVID hit. I had just gotten married, moved into my own place, all of that stuff. COVID hit. I did not have a gig. Gigs were not a thing anymore. Yeah, because I was a guitar player, right?
2019 when you were
2019 October I got married. I think yeah, December Jan types ये game over हो चुकी थी. At least shows होना बंद हो गए थे. And I was just like, yo, like I don't have a paycheck anymore. So I just sort of went and spent all my savings on a camera rig. I was just like, if nothing else, like at that time, I was like, my whole thing was, okay, how do I monetize this guitar thing? So I started doing online lessons. And I was like, okay, how do I build my reach? And I was like, I need to, my guitar content has to be super slick and of a certain quality visually as well, because it's all Instagram, it's all visual. It's not really about the music anymore, at least on the internet, on these platforms or whatever. So I bought the rig. I was like, इससे मैं टका की music videos भी बनाऊंगा, मैं अपनी Insta vids भी बनाऊंगा और scene on है, like बस हो रहा है, हम कुछ कर रहे हैं, बस हो रहा है. And I got the camera, and then around that time, Maanu was like, यार मेरी एक video बना. I was like, dude, मुझे नहीं आती music video बनानी. I make guitar videos. Like,
if I'm correct, was that Kidder?
That no, Kidder.
Sorry, Kidder नहीं.
Khwab. Yeah,
Yes,
that
so
was Khwab.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Slip of tongue, yes, I saw that. That's the first music video जो Maanu की थी, I believe.
No, Maanu had done like a couple before that.
The first you made.
The first I made, yeah.
That was tunnel के अंदर shoot हुई है.
हाँ, वो airport के पास हम वो एक tunnel में थे और बस हमने वो किसी तरह बना ली थे. If you notice, like that video is just like mid shots.
A lot of post like graphics.
मुझे कुछ नहीं समझ आ रही थी मैं क्या कर रहा था. I was just throwing something together for my little bro के यार बस हाँ हम कर रहे हैं कुछ, right?
शुरुआत होती है यार.
I mean, yeah, just like sort of figuring it out, man. Around that time, I did like a Tucker Tuck music video. Then I did like a Karakaram music video. Then Maanu kept making songs. He liked how I was sort of... We were so involved in just the doing of it. कि how to get it better. कि हमें वो realize भी नहीं हुआ कि like people sort of started digging what we were doing or whatever. So वो एक करके we just sort of did a lot of work. I guess वो I think अब क्या डेढ़ दो साल almost हो गए.
So let me get this at 2019 you started taking it seriously in the sense you bought a camera. You made an investment as an independent filmmaker, as an independent content creator. And 2022 में you've done all these major videos. And dude, that's like a very high...
I think I'm very lucky in the sense that by being like a musician and having been in the scene for the past 15 odd years or whatever, I've been playing shows since I was like 12 years old. So I know a lot of musicians. So it was just easier. It was easier for them to come to me as well, right?
So abhi, let's say you mentioned, I would also love to talk about how it all started for you, how music all started for you, because abhi aapne mentioned kiya ki you were 12 when we started reading it. So if you can just walk us through that journey as well.
My dad got me like a tabla teacher. That didn't sort of work out. I was 7 at the time. Then my uncle gave me his guitar when I was like 10 years old, and I think it just sort of... मुझे वो क्लासिक माई फ्रेंड मिसबा, यू नो मिसबा और मैंने 5-6 साल इकट्ठे गिटार बजाया, सीखा, learned how to record on my mother's laptop, write songs, found other people, found Yusuf and Daud and all these guys that we play with. So that
and Tucker Tuck was like kind of made when you guys were all in A-levels.
Yeah. We were the Lacoste Music Society.
Of course,
right?
yes.
And that's what it was. And that's where we sort of, school फिर वो ख़त्म होने वाला था. And obviously we stuck together and Tucker Tuck बन गया. And I mean, that's just the classic story of school में मिलते हैं, music society में होते हैं, and then we just start playing gigs. We were doing a lot of what do you call it, battle of the bands or whatever, and we won a couple, and we're like, oh यार ये तो scene है, let's do it.
बिल्कुल.
And
ये
just
लोग
sort
celebrities थे, ठीक है ना हमारे school में.
Barely.
नहीं थे कसम से.
अच्छा, but so often होता है that even during the undergrad years and all that, people always have this कि अच्छा band and they do gigs and all that, but you guys obviously you still stuck with it. And you're still doing it. But was it like a conscious thing कि यार okay shit I have to make a decision for my life, because we'll come to that कि obviously making money through music in Pakistan.
Right.
It's
like it was never like a decision that I had to take. It was more like कि मुझे यही आता है, like मैं अब क्या करूँ, like you know मैं नहीं अच्छे grades आते थे, नहीं पढ़ने का दिल करता था. I always slacked throughout school, but I wouldn't like at that time शायद वो parents को जब मैं fail करता था कि यार ये अपने दोस्तों के घर बैठा रहता है, but मैं you know उन 5-6 साल यूसुफ की basement के अंदर उसके साथ मतलब I was learning how to keep time, so you know to become a musician or whatever. So I think वो बस शौक वाली बात थी. It's like वो जो क्रिकेट खेलते हैं बच्चे, वो बस दिन रात क्रिकेट खेलते हैं और वो बन जाते हैं. हाँ, like it was just that honestly. There was no conscious decision. It was just more of like कि और मुझे कुछ ना करना आता है ना मैंने honestly करना है. So it's always like you're trying to figure out how to just make it work, I guess.
And then there was a transition. Uske saath then you went to film school. So
Yeah.
that was an active decision, or
It was not an active decision. I went to क्या कहते हैं Malaysia to study audio engineering at that time, and my dad passed away during that time. So I came back and I was like, अच्छा अब तो मैं नहीं जा रहा. Gotta like हाँ. So I was I think like what 19 or 20 at that time. And I took like a gap year or a couple of years, and it was just a matter of कि अच्छा अम्मा को एक like degree चाहिए मेरे से. What's the easiest degree? अब सच है. I'm sorry, it's true.
okay.
Like at least in Pak, I won't name the university.
नहीं मैंने भी फिल्म पढ़ा हुआ है, और मैंने भी इसलिए गई थी कि मुझे समझ नहीं आता मैंने जिंदगी के साथ क्या करना है, तो मैंने कहा चलो ये कर लेते हैं.
My thing was by the time college का time आया था, I was already working as a session musician, and like this session musician thing does not really have like a schedule, so I needed something that was kind of loose in terms of
पढ़ाई
शढ़ाई. So I was just like कर लिया वो मैंने.
बिल्कुल.
somehow बस ये 4 साल गुजरे और मैं
You think वैसे एक honestly तुम्हें लगता है कि जो तुमने फिल्म स्कूल में पढ़ा है उससे तुम्हें फायदा हुआ है?
Zero.
I agree.
Zero.
अब नई नाम ले अपने यूनिवर्सिटी का तो
ये देख रहे हैं. Zero. No, thank you. No, thank you.
नहीं, I completely. I mean, हम different film school से पढ़े हुए हैं, लेकिन मेरा भी
there were a
ये
couple of
experience है.
teachers, like film criticism, critique type.
वो रह
एक
जाती हैं
दो
यार.
कुछ fit teachers थे जिनने मुझे बहुत fit चीजें दिखाई जिससे मेरी like you know it formed a lot of my like aesthetic or whatever. But other than that, like मुझे मैं dude मेरा जो thesis था उनने कहा कि या तो शॉर्ट फिल्म बना लो या डॉक्यूमेंट्री बना लो. उन टाइम्स में मैं जसवाल के साथ काफ़ी टूर कर रहा था. माय फ्रेंड अली सुहेल who's also जो सिकंदर का मंदिर का गिटार प्लेयर सिंगर प्रोड्यूसर है, he was the other guitar player. I was like एक second, I need all of these days off to go on tour, and I also need to make a thesis, and the only way to get like days off is for the thesis. So I was like मैं एक iPad लेता हूँ, उसके कैमरे से मैं एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनाऊँगा अली सुहेल पे, और उन लाइक मैं जब टूर पे होऊंगा बस मैं उसकी रैंडम एक इंटरव्यू मैंने उसका किया ओवर द फोन, और मैंने बस बी रोल चिपका दिया 10 मिनट के लिए अली सुहेल के स्लो
और आईपैड से शूट किया हुआ.
I mean yeah, it was like a phone thing. I got like an A on it. So ठीक है, I got the days off, I played the shows, I got my thesis.
You are very efficient with your time वैसे, I must say.
I mean like work smart bro.
Just goes to show कि जो यहाँ पर young नौजवान जो आर्टिस्ट बनने का ख्वाब रखते हैं, they need to know कि they need to keep doing like everything at the same time, like
everything at the same time. Yeah,
seriously.
that's how it happens.
Yeah.
So I mean, so you told us how you ended up in film school, but now I think जब complete circle हुआ तो you're back to what you love. You love music. So even in your videos, you're known for these music videos, amazing music videos of these amazing artists, and obviously you're a musician yourself. So it must feel nice that you're surrounded by what you love, and you're in every element, every hat you wear, उसका वो काफी ज़्यादा.
I think bro मेरा वो सबसे like थोड़ी सी वो चाइल्डिश एक थॉट भी होती है कि मुझे मजा आना चाहिए लाइफ में.
ये चाइल्डिश थॉट बिल्कुल
like
नहीं
होती
है.
है ना, because like people around you like
यार देखो ज़ैन आप और मैं दोनों जानते हैं कि 50 साल ओल्ड अंकल एंड पे ये कह रहे होते हैं काश हमने कुछ मजे का कर लिया होता.
मेरा होता है कि किसी बस दफ्तर ना जाना पड़े मुझे. You get it? Like मैं दफ्तर नहीं जा सकता.
दफ्तर, but when you're shooting रात 12 से 4-5, that's your work.
That's fine, man. With my bud Luke, हम like शुगर लगा रहे होते हैं. Like
so you're literally living an alternative life. You're showing that there's another way. And
But उसके
It's
लिए
not
बहुत-
easy.
Exactly,
It
मैं
ain't
कहने वाली
easy.
थी।
but then I must ask, and मैं इसलिए भी पूछ रहा हूँ because I'm always an overthinker. I always overly plan things and I get anxiety and all that. And काफ़ी लोग हमारे इस तरह के हैं. अच्छा यार ये mindset ये I went to business school, so I have that. I shouldn't call it shit, but I have that restricted mentality. But डर नहीं लगता था कि यार what if you fail? What if you know it doesn't work out? What if अब सड़क पे
Dude, like, I mean, like both my parents artists. I saw my dad do all sorts of like crazy shit जो बस unimaginable type odds आपके against होते हैं doing the stuff that he was doing in Pakistan. So I think वो एक conditioning भी हुई होती that you've seen your parents do all sorts of shit to get where they want. Sorry, I keep saying shit.
It's okay.
Shit is-
I've said worse.
ठीक है but I think वो भी होता है ना we're all like lucky in that way कि that alternate lifestyle was sort of shown to us before तो वो it's easier for people like us और मैं I overthink but also बस मैं like वो होता नहीं है कि आपने एग्ज़ाम के लिए नहीं पढ़ा होता और आप सोच रहे होते कि मैं छुट्टी कर लूँ या बस I'm the guy जो जाके सब अगर कुछ नहीं भी आता मैं like आतिफ असलम की लिरिक्स लिख के आता था अपने इम्तिहानों में हाँ बाबू कर लिए ये ले done hit and miss sir
Well, it's actually refreshing seeing this sort of mindset.
But like अभी
और बंदा क्या करे
हाँ और नहीं exactly और बंदा क्या करे नहीं
यार ये तो like I should frame it और बंदा क्या करे by Zain Peerzada और ये लगाना चाहिए.
shit
अच्छा इससे ये जो shit such a loaded shit अभी रोल करने से पहले हम बात कर रहे थे about having like an imposter syndrome and we were talking about how we all have it and so if you can just like also kind of क्या how do you still have it are you dealing how do you deal with it
every day but like imposter syndrome के साथ I just tell myself फिर just fake it till you make it like people come up to me and they're like यार आप बहुत fit DOP हो and that shot and this shot क्या सोचा था आपने जब ये कर रहे थे like पता नहीं like लूक ने यूँ लाइट टांगी ऊपर से और मैंने कहा oh boy ये best लग रहा है you know like what were we talking about imposter syndrome हाँ dude just fake it man everyone's faking it no one is the real shit honestly like हर किसी के there is no real shit and हर किसी के दिमाग में वो एक imposter है till I don't know
yeah नहीं
at least they're not going to let you know कि वो उनको ही हो रहा है right
exactly नहीं और being imposter syndrome के लिए एक फ़ायदा भी होता है कि थोड़ा आप humble रहते हो थोड़ी आप मेहनत करते हो थोड़ा आपके अंदर वो go getting attitude होता है but कई एक point पे जाके आपको अपने आप को कहना भी पड़ता है कि यार नहीं sometimes you do have to tell yourself that you are the shit to kind of be in that space जहाँ पर you can have the confidence as an artist to have your voice and one thing that I've really noticed in most of your music videos there's like an effortlessness to it जो I think अभी आपने बोला कि आप कोई बहुत process नहीं है वो लाइट अच्छी लग रही है वो ये लग रही है वो लग रही है there's this I mean honestly you feel कि जिस बंदे ने बनाई है ना उसको मज़ा आया है बनाते हुए इसलिए मुझे मज़ा आ रहा है देखते हुए
right my whole problem with like filmmaking always was के college maybe or when I saw like family members making something or whatever it was like always felt too tedious you get it it's like 4 महीने हम pre-production करेंगे like yikes like I would personally just because of that reason would never want to make a film like you know like I don't want to make a film for 2 years and just talk about it for 6 months before I even you know turn on the camera so I think that also stems from that we don't really have insane crazy budgets because like the music videos जो आपकी commercial music videos होती हैं they're like they spend like small fortunes on those things so I think it's half like sort of necessity and half just how I also like doing things like मैं बहुत एक systematic तरीके से हाँ I think वो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता systematic हो भी रहा है because it's like you just
वो तुम्हारी
I think वो
instinct का एक
चीज़
हिस्सा भी बन
Exactly.
गया
It's your part.
so what is if you have a favorite what is like your favorite music video you've made so far
damn that's a tough one
Yeah,
yeah I love all the videos that
they're
I've
all
done.
my children I love them equally
Yeah, I dig all
But-
of them. But like, I mean, some favorite sequences like
Yeah.
the Sham video, जो TQ, Maanu, Towers, Moju, उन सारों का जो एक गाना है, वो रीनाज के वो dinner table वाला sequence I really
वो
like.
Insta- वो
That's,
तलाल
like, my
बैठा हुआ and all
favorite
that.
sequence.
Yeah.
Big Like Large and Big Like Large Part 2 जो Hitman है, those one takes, I really love those. Hiko is like,
I love Hiko.
That video did a lot of things for us because that was the first like song that sort of blew up. That and like 5 a.m. वो इकट्ठे निकली थी. So those videos are really close to my heart because like Khwab did start it all, but like those two really like.
And so we're talking about just limited budget. You don't have to name the artist or the video, but what's that one video जो commercially निकली थी, सबसे कम बजट था और क्या बजट था उसका? Like just to show people that.
Okay, yeah, just to kind of let us give us ballpark figure कि तो kind of.
मैं नहीं बताऊंगा.
चलो ना बताओ.
You must guess yourself.
Okay, give me a ballpark. Give me a ballpark.
मैं नहीं ये कर रहा. All future clients will.
Oh yeah.
I'm never gonna tell.
सारी videos बहुत
हर
महंगी थी.
वीडियो
बहुत
₹1 रुपए की बनी थी.
Exactly.
बाद में बताऊंगा. हाँ, after this podcast.
Fair enough.
Fair
Completely
enough.
fair enough. Fair enough.
5 bitcoins per video.
अच्छा, but now coming to so जो basically when we talk about so independent जो music scene है लाहौर एंड कराची ऑब्वियसली एंड इस्लामाबाद एज वेल, तो कुछ चीज़ें काफ़ी कॉमन नज़र आ रही है. उसमें एक बात ये आती है, आई पर्सनली अब अगेन मैं उस जॉनरा तो नहीं कहेंगे, उस कैटेगरी का अगर मैं फ़ैन हूँ तो इट्स जस्ट द like Risham said, the effortlessness. And obviously I understand that एक वजह है कि यार बजट नहीं है, मतलब obviously they are independent artists, students हैं, नए लोग आ रहे हैं, but then again there's something about it that at least I can and I know my friends can relate to it more than
I feel like you don't really need a big budget to
don't.
make a sick video. Like look at half of Drake's videos, dude. वो एक घर में एक blue light के नीचे अपने homies के साथ नाच रहा है. Like every video doesn't have to be this big ass thing either. So all good. So sorry, I just sort of cut you off.
No.
I actually had a question.
Yeah,
So one thing I've noticed कि we've seen कि indie music scene Pakistan in particular, it's like taken off. ठीक है ना, ये जो young artists like Hassan Rahim वगैरह, अब like Coke Studio भी उनको space दे रहा था. A lot of brands are kind of finally recognizing them, and I think I really have to attribute it to a sense of community all of you guys have. That I feel a lot of हमारी जो बाकी पाकिस्तान की जो industry है ना, वो शायद उस तरह नहीं तरक्की कर पाई because हम competition में आ जाते हैं, हम collaborations नहीं करते. But there's one thing I've repeatedly noticed is that there's a huge sense of camaraderie. तुम लोग मिल के काम करते हो, you guys build each other up, and that has been beneficial for everyone overall.
That's how scenes are made. Like for example, take like मेरी study ज़्यादा metal scene की, but this will sort of apply to rap or R&B or any other genre around. 2 bands हैं, similar किस्म का music बनाते हैं. इधर लोगों की इंस्टिंक्ट एटलीस्ट रही ये है कि ये मेरी कंपटीशन है और हमारा शो बेहतर होगा और व्हाटएवर. बाहर अगर उनकी कंपटीशन भी है, इवन इफ दे आर फाइटिंग फॉर सेल्स और व्हाटएवर और नंबर्स, दे विल थ्रो अ टूर टुगेदर or do a song together, you know, stuff like that, and that sort of builds a scene. You have to share fans, you have to like share a space and cultivate like a larger scene rather than just अपने fans, because जब वो scene होता है फिर वो एक ecosystem बनता है. जब वो एक ecosystem बन जाता है then it has, you know, a life of its own.
Yeah, but वही मतलब it's nice to see कि हसन रहीम की वीडियो में मानू है, मानू की वीडियो में तलाल है, और वो उन्होंने
because वो एक दूसरे के like they're literally cycling their listenership through each other's accounts. Like अगर उसको बिल्कुल आप उस तरह analyze करने बैठे देखो, it's just like it feeds the algorithm, it just strengthens your thing in every which way. People like अब बहुत ज़्यादा इस तरह के shows होते हैं जहाँ मेन आर्टिस्ट ये बॉयज ही होते हैं और वो 3-4 होते हैं और वो पूरा शो उनका होता है.
नहीं, पाकिस्तान में जो आपकी यंग जनरेशन है, खैर हम उस यंग जनरेशन में तो मैं तो अपने आप को बिल्कुल काउंट नहीं करती, बट जो आपकी जेन जी है, आई मीन दीज आर द आर्टिस्ट एंड आई मीन द एस्थेटिक्स दैट यू बिल्ड थ्रू योर म्यूजिक वीडियोज, ऑफ कोर्स यू आर डिफाइनिंग इट. लाइक आई एम सॉरी अब आप यू नो लाइक मैं तारीफ कर रही हूँ, यू आर डिफाइनिंग द एस्थेटिक इन अ वे. आई न्यू ही वाज गोना मेक दिस फेस, आई न्यू मैं प्रिपेयर्ड.
आई डोंट नो अबाउट लाइक
आई थिंक सो बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स एक पूरी एक यूथ की नई एक जनरेशन आई है, स्पेशली आई मीन लेट्स लाइक बी ऑन अर्बनाइज्ड यूथ जो हमारा है मुल्क का, तो उसमें यू गाइज द म्यूजिक वीडियोज यू मेक, द म्यूजिक यू आर मेकिंग, ये ही डिफाइन करा, दैट इज देयर कल्चर, सो देयर इज अ ह्यूज इम्पैक्ट इन इट. So yes, you have to take that compliment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's people like, you know, Lil Kid. He does a lot of like Hassan Rahim's videos. Abdullah Kusumbi. I'm forgetting so many names, but there's so
you're one
many.
of them, na?
It's like such a. It's so nice. I haven't even met how like कुछ लोगों को मिला हूँ या अगर recently मिला हुआ भी हूँ. It's like everyone's really nice. आप you know someone from Instagram, वो आपको show पे मिलता है. हाँ bro कैसा है तेरा काम बहुत fit है. कुछ इकट्ठे करते हैं कल को, you know, you end up working together or whatever. So I think that's what keeps it going as well, because everyone's sort of willing to help each other out. And
I think that's the major difference between अगर इसको हम 20 साल पुरानी वाली इंडस्ट्री को देखें, it had its own place, it still does, but if we relate that, I think that is a major difference.
So abhi, like, what is the connection? Like, I would love to understand, you know, jo indie music scene hai, you guys made these music videos with small budgets, and then people started noticing it, then brands started noticing it. So do you think कि वो चीज़ पे translate हो रही होती है in like economic compensation as well? Do you think कि it's making it worth your while? वो ecosystem industry का किस तरह build हो रहा है? Because unfortunately ये भी मसला है ना कि पाकिस्तान में it is the corporate sector जो आपको थोड़ा बहुत प्यार देगा तो आप अपने आप को sustain कर सकोगे. That is like in a way the only revenue or the platform that we end up having.
yeah, I mean, if you talk about the economics of it, shows are a big factor. क्या कहते हैं, corporate sponsored stuff is important, but I think stuff like people give like Spotify a lot of shit, but they give out pretty good payouts.
Yeah, please tell us that.
How does that work? Like,
You set up you pay $30 a year to DistroKid and it handles everything for you. Like एक चीज़ मुझे समझ नहीं आती, like there's a lot of artists in Pakistan who are so confused about digital distribution कि distribution क्या होती है, and they sort of end up signing away like 30-40% or whatever big chunk of their thing to some licensing deal person, company, whatever, whereas you just have to pay $30 and you upload. जिस तरह आप YouTube पे एक वीडियो अपलोड करते हैं उस तरह आप अपना गाना अपलोड करते हैं और वो आप and you link your PayPal to it, and that's literally it. Like, and I've been like screaming this from the top of
scream
like,
once again
the छत के like get. I feel like अब I think शायद लोगों को समझ आ रहा है, but it's still a big problem that artists here don't want to be hands-on with their whole thing. Like with Tuck, for example, it's a progressive metal band in Pakistan. You get it? It is set to fail, right? It is destined to fail.
Yeah.
Like
just like we are actually.
No, but like you have to understand.
Yeah.
A metal band in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Absolute failure. But somehow Luke and I brought Tuck in a span of like, I would say 3 years, to a point where Tuck pays for itself in every way. For mixing, mastering, music videos, equipment.
And that's happening through the streaming and the views.
It happens through streaming, it happens through Patreon, it happens through merchandise, it happens through, you know, the odd.
Does Tuck also have like an international kind of a fan base? I mean, I'm guessing it probably does.
Yes, for sure, 100%. बात यही है यार, you gotta look at your own situation and sort of see कि यार, how many ways can I sort of figure this out, you know? And I feel if you sort of do that, even if you don't hit it big time like Hassan Rahim or Young Stunners or whatever, you can still make it work and sustain it somehow. So I feel Pakistan में वो research करना लोग पसंद नहीं करते हैं, to do the dirty work, जो the stuff that is not sexy, वो करना ज़रूरी होता है थोड़ा सा.
I think it's so not going to like a art school, but because of my father and my sister सारे art से लिंक है, तो I've always seen कि एक जो आर्टिस्ट लोग होते हैं उनके साथ एक अनफेयर एक्सपेक्टेशन ये होती है, oh you're going to art school, oh you're starting a production house, so you have to be the next Spielberg, or if you're a singer you have to be the next Michael Jackson, otherwise तुम्हारा फ़ायदा क्या. हमने कभी रिसर्च की भी नहीं किया. अच्छा, एज ए आर्ट फॉर्म अगर उसका एक बिजनेस प्लान बनाया जाए तो यू कैन, इफ यू आर स्मार्ट इनफ, यू हैव टैलेंटेड,
इधर स्टार बनना होता है ना बस,
ये
हम स्टार बन जाएं.
क्या स्टार सिंड्रोम कहूंगा मैं इसको,
It ain't
क्या
gonna happen like that, fam.
मानू यहाँ से नहीं, आप ना भी बनो, देयर आर वेज दैट यू कैन डू दैट. एंड ऑन दैट नोट आई थिंक, एंड आई एम इंटरेस्टेड, आई डोंट नो listeners are can not, let's assume this, like there's an artist called A, very bad name for an artist, but so जो आपने बात की, for example if you put music out, let's say you have Spotify, so Spotify से आपको return आएगा, then you do some gigs, कुछ corporate work करके you accumulate, let's say a revenue. मैं business terms में बात करूँ, let's say business है, उस business revenues में से वो artist कहता है कुछ मेरे personal expenses में, कुछ मैं वापस invest करूँगा अपने आप में, A being the business, उसमें से आपकी फ्री वीडियोस आती हैं जिसमें प्लीज़ हायर फ्लक्स मीडिया, फ्लक्स मीडिया को आप पैसे देंगे, फ्लक्स आप एक वीडियो प्रोड्यूस करें, देन यू विल पुट इट ऑन यूट्यूब, एंड वो यूट्यूब से भी आपको कुछ पैसे मिलेंगे, एंड देन आप
यूट्यूब से आपको नहीं मिलेंगे unless आप मिलियंस हिट.
Exactly.
ठीक है, चलिए यूट्यूब
साइड पे
इट्स अ मार्केटिंग एड, जिससे लोग आपका स्पॉटिफाई पे गाना सुनेंगे, तो आप एक सर्कल चलाएंगे, देन थ्रू आउट आप गिग्स करते हो, यू गेट पिक्ड अप बाय वन ऑफ दीज शोज, कोक स्टूडियो एंड एसकेफे बेसमेंट. So that is the more or less cycle. Or at the same time you can like give your services to other people as well. Like बीच में जैसे आप lessons देते थे, you can teach and all
you can
that.
Produce music, you can do a million things.
And in between that, what you're saying, you can live a respectable life in terms of.
I mean, I will say if you're wanting to be like in the arts, you have to be ready to wear multiple hats.
Exactly.
Because if I was like, मैं सिर्फ गिटार प्लेयर हूँ, right? That is not going to cut it. If you ask my bandmates, I manage the band, I make sure everything is happening. उसकी running मैं देख रहा होता हूँ. Like all the things that do not involve actually playing a guitar or writing a song, you got to do those. You got to figure out कि अच्छा, like for example, metal band Tuck Pakistan ain't gonna make any money. Like I don't pay my bills with Tuck, right? But okay, Tuck एक बैंड है, उससे मुझे म्यूज़िक प्रोडक्शन आ गई है, मुझे मैं लोगों के गाने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से बजा सकता हूँ, ये 2 स्किल साइड पे हो गए. फिर मुझे बैंड मैनेज करना आता है, मुझे उसकी रेवेन्यू एक निकालनी आती है, वो एक स्किल आ गया. देन you're like, अच्छा, I have these skills, how do I use it to, you know, make a stream of income? And if your music is good, even if it's not making you money, it'll open doors for you in the industry. Because ठीक है, metal band is not like super marketable in the country, but everyone sort of, when Takada came out with like our first songs and then our EP, and जब हम करते रहे, everyone in the like industry was a bit like, oh yaar, these kids can play, right? So we started getting gigs, right?
And I
off
genuinely
of that
believe
back,
हर
right?
चीज़ का टाइम होता है, ठीक है ना. If you believe in what you're doing, if you believe in yourself, और वो आप करते रहो अपनी चीज़, तो चीज़ों का टाइम आता है, चाहे वो किस तरह आए, लेकिन वो आता है.
I feel if you enjoy a certain craft, you should just do it for the craft and enjoy it. And if something is supposed to, when you put like an expectation of money on something, that becomes very tricky. You know, पहले 5, 6, 7, 10 वीडियोस जो हमने की थी, we weren't like charging anything or like, you know, कि इससे हमने पैसे बनाने. Although COVID had just hit, me and Luke needed, you know, jobs or money or whatever. Everyone does, but like you gotta, ये चीज़ ही ऐसी, you gotta like enjoy it, because that stuff then sort of translates.
And because of that, now Flux Media 1 crore रुपया लेता है per video.
Of course, just for consultancy.
इसके people also just kind of have this thing कि यार ये artist है, तो sorry मैं भूल गई मैंने सवाल क्या पूछना था, completely slipped my mind.
1 crore से आप परेशान हो.
हाँ, मैं
Blinded by the ching.
Let me think now. It's gonna bother me. But I think I just have 1 or 2 questions left. एक तो if you can also talk about Janin, do you think कि जो आपकी music industry है, how do you inclusive it is or not? Because you know I still can't help noticing that I still don't see a lot of women in it. Yeah. I still don't see a lot of marginalized communities in it. So if you can also talk about कि do you think चीज़ें थोड़ी बेहतर हो रही हैं, क्या systems in place हैं?
बेहतर like बेहतर I hope हो रही हों. Yeah, I think like obviously if you come from a certain background or a certain like class, it's easier for you to like doors are open for you, and like it isn't for some people. But I feel today with the internet, आई फील आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो ऑनेस्टली, लाइक यू नो आप अगर सड़क पे भी कहीं गा रहे हो, इफ़ यू कैन जस्ट अपलोड इट टू यूट्यूब और फेसबुक और इंस्टाग्राम और टिकटॉक और समथिंग, यू कैन मेक
कच्चा बादाम वाला that song कच्चा बादाम
मैंने नहीं सुना, बट इस तरह के कुछ 10 उस
you haven't listened to
I haven't
after the podcast we'll
Okay.
make you listen to this
Alright,
उसकी पूरी feature
yeah.
song बना है
hell yeah.
so
कच्चा बादाम नाम है।
यार you must have heard it अभी नहीं
I
समझ
feel
आया
like even with like dude, young stunners is such a crazy example because like in terms of कि कोई भी कर सकता है, because they were doing it for 10 years dude. और they were young stunners for like a
They
good
bet they were young.
8-10 years bro, ने बहुत काम किया हुआ है. And if you just consistent, like जो भी हो जहाँ भी हो, just be consistent bro. Like I'm not the best guitar player or the best whatever. It's just कि मैं सुबह उठ के फिर से करता हूँ और फिर से करता हूँ, and there's like repetition.
So if you're a hard worker and if you're consistent and if you show up and you deliver, you will get hired again.
Yeah,
People
even
will
if-
remember you.
I think आप कुछ भी करते हो, even if you're a painter, dancer, musician, actor, if you're consistent with what you're doing and if you're passionate about it, कुछ ना कुछ trust me हो जाएगा. But अगर नहीं हो रहा, there's definitely something you're doing wrong.
और बस बंदे भी
और
मसला है।
सीखते भी
बंदे
रहना
मसला
है।
बंदे ही खराब
But
है।
you know, in the end, like you are a really good example of someone who has done something very alternative. Like even ये जो टका टक की आपकी शुरुआत हुई थी, like you mentioned, it's a metal band, it's highly alternative, and despite all of that, you've kept that alive and you have still built a career for yourself.
Yeah, I mean even with Taka Tak, dude, like मुझे एक दिन कॉल आया कुछ 1.5 साल पहले, and I was like, जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम, like it was Bilal Maqsood, right, from Strings. I was like, yo, like, what's up, Bilal bhai? Why are you calling me? Is this a mistake? And he was like, yeah, we want Taka Tak on Velo. And I couldn't believe it.
I
He's
know,
like,
when I
"Yo,
saw
what?"
that, I was like, what? Taka Tak Velo पे आ
I
गया?
literally asked him, are you sure? Like, because we won't do anything differently. हमने करना है तो हम यही करेंगे. And he's like, हाँ, यही करो आके.
And that
so
just, yeah.
It was like just consistency, bro. Like
And
there's
that also
nothing
goes
else
to
it.
show कि चीज़ें change हो रही हैं और हर तरह के इंसान के लिए जगह है. ठीक है, there could be subgroups. You don't have to be mainstream. You can find your niche.
Exactly, of course.
In fact,
100%.
sometimes it's better to find your. Even we at like Maati, like we're never gonna be mainstream. We know that. We're okay with that. But we have a little niche and we're
when
happy
you have
with that.
a niche is always, I feel like it उसकी अपनी strengths होती हैं. Yeah. Definitely.
तो मैं जब रिसर्च कर रहा था और एक स्टॉक कर रहा था आपको, तो उसमें सो लाइक यू जो लूनी वीडियो है मानू की, तो उसमें आपने थोड़ा सा स्टोरी लिखी हुई थी, एंड आई थॉट पहले मुझे लगा कि मे बी आई जरा
फनी हो रहे
हैं, कूल हो रहे हैं, बट देन यू टोल्ड मी दिस, सो हाउ डिड आई जस्ट वांट पीपल टू सी दैट हाउ इट्स अ ब्रिलियंट वीडियो. कोई कहे मुझे तो मैं मानू ना कि यार इस तरह शूट हुई है.
Right.
किस तरह shoot हुई है?
Yeah, I mean like especially with Maanu, मेरी वो relationship बहुत like casual, and वो भी गाने उस तरह लिखता है कि like half of the songs that he sends me is like मैं सुबह 6-7 बजे जब उठता हूँ, उसका कोई 4 बजे का कोई मैसेज होगा कि बॉय ये मैंने अभी बनाया है, ये like क्या सीन है, you know, and like हम इसको परसों शूट कर सकते हैं. उनका भी like they're like so inspired and they're like throwing shit out के वो they also want to just like throw it out, right? So वो काफ़ी spontaneous होता है. We were driving to Islamabad. His manager Saki was busy or ill or something, and he was like मेरे साथ चल.
Shit, Siki was sick.
He is sicko mode. And we were driving, हम motorway पे थे और वो Loony was the song. हम उसको like I'd already been listening to it और वो मानू ने लगाया और हम सुन रहे थे. And we'd always been like उसके बारे में बात करते थे कि इसकी करनी है. He's like यार इसकी करें आज. I was like ठीक है, sure कर लेते हैं.
आज यू मीन आप इस्लामाबाद में रात
हमने अगले दिन वापस आना था. हम दोपहर का टाइम था, शाम को साउंड चेक था, रात को शो था, और हमारे पास लाइक 11-12 बजे रात के हम फ्री होना था हमने, और हमारे पास वो रात थी बेसिकली, राइट. सो आई कॉल्ड माई फ्रेंड शमशेर राना, फनी फिल्म्स, आई वाज लाइक ब्रो मदद चाहिए, हमने आज ये गाना शूट करना है, ये ले गाना, और हम कोई 11 बजे फारिग होंगे, तो क्या सीन है, हम कोई सड़क कहीं कोई मुझे कोई स्ट्रीट लाइट्स वाली कोई शेडी सी कोई गली ढूंढ के दे और ये कर लेते हैं, यू नो, लेट्स जस्ट गेट इट डन. एंड ही इज़ लाइक एक सेकेंड, मेरी यू नो कोई someone in his family knew someone who was having a private event at Joyland Islamabad or something, and we just arrived there with a camera and just had fun for like 4 hours, and no one bothered us. We had the whole place to ourselves. Just had fun, bro. Aur wo ban gayi. Like, I don't know what to say.
What's the longest you've taken making a music video so
I've
far?
never shot for more than 12 hours. Yeah. Run and gun.
Wow. And do you edit it yourself as well?
I edited.
And you color grade yourself?
Yeah.
And do you have a
color grade
particularly like an
Cheers,
edit process? Like तुम्हारा कोई process होता है या just kind of flows naturally?
Yeah, it always flows naturally. I'm sort of like teaching myself to sort of plan more for my shoots. But it's like a lot of conversation and a lot of like throwing references around and just having conversations with, because the good part about this is that I'm friends with all of these guys, so it's doesn't like, वो कभी-कभी होती है कोई वीडियो आती है जो एक वो client feel होती है and you sort of like have to move a certain way, but mostly it's pretty casual, it's pretty chill, and we
They
just
give
sort
you
of get it.
they said take the camera, जो करना है करो.
I mean, like, yeah, to a certain extent, but like all these guys, and especially Maanu, they have a very distinct vision
बिल्कुल
of
वही मेरा
what
सवाल
their
था कि
thing is.
what's your collaborative process? Like
It's
how do
very
you,
collaborative.
because-
As collaborative as the artist wants it to be. Maanu is very collaborative. Like, he's almost like a co-director on all of those videos because uska vision about his, his brand and his visual identity, उसकी वो बहुत strong एक है उसके दिमाग में. So I don't like going in and being like, नहीं मैं तुझे इसके अंदर एक Peter Pan बना दूंगा.
And
or
you
whatever.
know, like this is a Zain Peerzada music video. No, this is the artist's music
It's
video. and
his,
you-
like,
exactly.
I'm in a band. I wouldn't want
Exactly.
someone to come to me and be like, इस तरह होना चाहिए, something I don't dig. Like, I would want कि तू मुझे सुन कि मुझे क्या चाहिए इसके अंदर से, right? Because it's my song. So I never try to take like ownership of anything in terms of कि ये इसी तरह होगा. You get it?
And close to you and Kidder में, did you guys hire an art director? Proper set design था क्या?
No,
Because
it was just मिलजुल के हमने चीजें की
that-
थी. Yeah, किधर के अंदर that backdrop, that tie
love
dye
that.
and the
I love
shirts.
that.
मानू की अम्मा से हमने बनवाई थी. She does amazing tie dye. वो हमने कराया. Close to you में जो balloons थे, Salor, our friend Salor, who's also a rapper, he helped us. We just sort of make it happen, dude.
Interesting
But in
fact.
like some videos होती हैं, like we did like a song for Tarhan and Billy that's coming out. That was like fully art directed. So it really depends कि क्या हो रहा
Yeah,
है.
even those songs looked fully art directed, like जो Kidder and all that. And I mean the fun fact about Kidder, so like she also had dengue and मैं बहुत कुछ 2 हफ्ते bed rest पे था. I had to get ready for my क्या कहते हैं, मेरे दोस्त की शादी थी. मैं कहा अब डेंगी ख़त्म हो रहा है, जाता हूँ. So I was very depressed because dengue and all that. And नया मानू का Kidder आया था. So I was going to the barber. I listened to it on my phone. I didn't see the video. I came back and मैंने कहा क्या करते हैं, गाना फिर सुनते. तो I have a bad habit, मैं Spotify पे नहीं सुनता. I'm so sorry, मैं YouTube पे चला जाता हूँ.
सही है.
आज के बाद से I'll go to Spotify.
सही है.
वो पैसे
Works for
देते
me.
हैं.
Look at my video, bro. I don't care about the streams.
And I was just like, I fell in love with that video. Later on, I
Sweet,
realized
man.
ये तो Zain ने बनाई है.
That was a tough shoot
And
for
I
me.
even sent
Why
you
was
a
that a
message
tough-
after that video. I don't know you replied or
How
not,
was,
but
why was that a tough shoot though?
Yeah, it was the first time I was doing like a flowery summer dancer
and
video.
Yeah, there was a dance का पूरा आपका sequence थी.
वो आई थिंक
Yeah.
उसमें साज शेख की
It
कंपनी
was
है.
raining
Yeah.
also. Also, was it? हाँ.
वो गाड़ी के पीछे जब वो सिविक के पीछे मानू बैठा हुआ है, तो were you on a car yourself?
I was in a car coming. I was out of the
Yeah.
sunroof. और मेरा gimbal मर गया था, so
it
वो
was-
मैंने हाथ से भी यूं करके पकड़ा हुआ था कैमरा.
वो car sequence was
See,
fun.
Murphy's law, everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
It will
yeah?
go wrong.
It will
yes.
go wrong.
No, but I'm getting better at it now. I cover my ass.
I mean,
a
of
little
course, you've
better.
also like done this
Yeah.
for. So I would like, in the end, I would like to ask you. एक तो दो चीजें. एक तो there probably will be some young person watching this video, watching this podcast. So like any advice you would have for people who want to have a career in the arts? चलो शायद वो music ना भी हो, but something that is alternative, something जिसकी इतनी niche अभी नहीं बनी, just exactly something that you essentially did when you were 19, right? Yeah. So what would like that advice be?
Stop making excuses and just do it. Just do it. There's no answer,
This is
bro.
giving-
Because हर बंदे के साथ कोई फर्क चीज हो जाएगी जो उसके लिए रुकावट होगी या whatever. Like with the internet and the tools जो आजकल हैं, you honestly just need an iPhone to or an Android phone or any phone. Or bro, उस दिन Natasha Nurani was over and she had like this tiny like 2000 रुपए का दराज कैमरा that she just bought for fun. It was like 2000 रुपए का छोटा सा वो खिलौना था, but वो कैमरा था, you know. I mean, like, I was like, oh, इसके कोई 10 uses निकल सकते हैं. So point being, like, I mean, you just gotta do it, man. Like, बहुत मसले होते हैं रास्ते. Like, if you're gonna, like, if one thing is gonna bother you कि oh ये हो गया या वो हो गया या oh shit अब मैं audio engineering नहीं पढ़ सकता. I dropped out from audio engineering school after the first semester when I was 19. I still, during these 10 years, also did audio engineering and did audio engineering professionally, you know, produced music, still do. Bro, YouTube है, मतलब Patreon type चीज़ें हैं. You can fund yourself, you can Fiverr, dude, like it's
and
insane.
have different sources of revenue. Like Zain wears multiple hats. I even wear multiple hats. He
Learn
has
how
to
to
wear
trade
multiple
crypto,
hats.
bro. Like don't
And
whine.
even those multiple hats could be adjacent to your interest area, like it is, you know, with you. Like it doesn't necessarily. आखिरी चीज़ जो मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगी कि how would you define success in the sense that what would you say कि अच्छा अगर मैंने ये कर लिया तो maybe I can call myself
bro, I don't know. Like I have no idea.
I think there you have it. You will never have an idea, but you fake it
till you make it.
and you won't know you have made it.
I think if you make like a big bag of money, then you're probably gonna just be like, oh, nice.
Big bag of money पर खर्च भी हो जाएगा ना, फिर एक और bag of money
उसको multiply करने के तरीके होते हैं.
But I think like in my opinion, I think if you're able to do something that you love and it can sustain
That
you
is a
both
success
spiritually and
in itself.
financially, then that is success.
Like in all honesty, 3-4 years ago, when I was about to get married or whatever, मैं सोचता था, dude, like, yo, how am I gonna have a house of my own and like all of this shit?
And look at you
But
doing it
you have
now.
a very cool house, by the way.
You can just make it happen, dude. Like at the end of the day, it's in your hands. You like I keep saying this, bro. YouTube has all the answers. YouTube taught me how to make a Patreon, a successful
YouTube
Patreon.
taught me how to edit. Like
YouTube taught me how to edit. YouTube taught me how to shoot. YouTube taught me how to do anything and everything that I do today. So like, you have no excuses. ठीक है, अगर इंटरनेट नहीं है और लैपटॉप नहीं है, फिर मसला है.
फिर मसला है.
But अगर होते हैं लोग
जिनके पास नहीं होते, it is a
and
privilege.
that is, I think, the biggest recovery that you can have. And if you can get around that and you have that link, then you can just go, dude. Like, I mean, I've been really intrigued by the NFT crypto space. I'm in these communities, desi communities, dude. People are making a killing, dude. People have figured it out, and people jinka itna fit scene nahi tha pehle have sort of, so like the internet has a lot of tools to allow you to do what you want to do. If you just don't be a dumbass. Like I failed like a lot during school, a lot during college, A levels, सब कुछ मुझे बहुत मारी पटी हुई अपनी अम्मा से, right? So grades is not the thing. You just gotta be a little smart.
And also you're immensely hardworking. And I mean, you were just telling me कि आपने 4 साल में एक दिन off नहीं लिया. So
मैं मानू के साथ एक्चुअली गुलेरा गली गया था अभी. वो मुझे घसीट के लेके गया था कि तू आएगा. But yeah, that was the only one.
नहीं, but I'm mashallah, I'm so proud of you. Like, congratulations.
कर दो यार.
नहीं यार, ऐसी बात नहीं है. And I can't wait to see all the amazing work you're going to do in the future. And आपके दोस्त मार्टी पे यहाँ हैं to kind of help you out in whatever you would like.
I can't wait. आप मुझे मानू से कब मिला रहे हो? So yeah.
मानू देख ले यार. You're making me look bad.
देख ले वो.
And our studios are available for collaboration.
Let's go. We're definitely
अब
doing
हमने on
something
record ये बातें कह दी
soon.
so you can hold us accountable. Thank you everyone for watching this podcast. I hope you had a great time. And Zain, if you would, हम हमेशा अपने guest से कहते हैं वो typical content creation वाली चीज़ कहनी पड़ती है. उनको कौन आके subscribe करे और like करे.
Subscribe, like, share, subscribe, smash that like button. यही करते हैं ना? Smash it, smash it.
We will link links to all of information about Zain as well, so you can follow his social media pages as well and check out his work and maybe hire him for your next project. अगर आप में से यहाँ कोई है जिसका कोई project type.
अगर गाना अच्छा है.
He has standards, you guys. ठीक है ना?
It has to be a good song.
It has to be a good song.